It's cone day. Cones comes after cylinder because a cone fills a third of a cylinder. Let me draw this. If you take a cylinder and put a cone inside, it will take up exactly 1/3 of the space. Little fun fact, which makes sense because there's all that space and all that space. A cone fills up 1/3 of a cylinder of the same size. And this is a very important piece of information for when we get the formula. So here's your formula. How do we find the volume of a cone if the radius is 10 and the height is 15? So this is what you should picture. A cone whose radius is 10 and the height from the top of the cone to the center of the circle is 15. Because we all know whenever you are not given a picture, you should draw it. Here's your formula. It starts out the same as a cylinder. Remember that was pi r squared h. So if you take the volume of the cylinder, and we said this was 1/3 of it, that's why you divide by 3. So it's the same exact formula as a cylinder, except you divide your answer by 3 because a cone fills up 1/3 of the space. All right, now you just plug your numbers in. Pi times 10 squared times 15, all divided by 3. Again, don't hit pi. I'm just going to keep writing it every single time. You're just hitting 10 squared times 15 divided by 3. 10 squared times 15 divided by 3. And it's a nice, pretty 500. And your pi just goes at the back of your answer. Now 500 pi is really 1,571. That's how much space is actually inside it. But that's the exact value. Okay, but what if you get a decimal? This is going to happen to you in the Khan Academies. They don't make them all work out to be pretty. But they still want the exact answer. You cannot put decimals in Khan Academy because it wants exact. So I'll show you what you mean. If you put these numbers in, you're going to get a decimal. Pi times 8 squared times 10 divided by 3. Again, if you hit 8 squared times 10 divided by 3, you get 213.3333 repeating. Okay? So if that happens, you're just gonna simplify the top. Eight squared times 10. And you're gonna leave it as 640 pi over 3. That's the exact value of 213.33 pi. Just leave it like that. Because 640 divided by 3 is how you got 213. So just leave it as 640 divided by 3 as a fraction. Because please tell me you know a fraction is just a division problem. Next, find the height if the volume is 180 pi and the radius is 6. So that's the formula we need to use. Volume equals pi r squared over, So when you plug everything in, you have 180 pi over here. Why am I doing this? Pi times 6 squared. So we have everything in the formula except the h. So to get rid of the 3, you times both sides by 3. Step 1. This is for people that did not do well in algebra. You multiply by 3. So if you times by 3 on the side, that cancels. You times by 3, again, just hit 3 times 1, 80. You get 540 pi equals pi times 36h. Step 2, you divide by pi. And it'll just cancel out on both sides. And then you divide by 36. So you are solving for h, just like in Algebra 1. I got 15. Oh, this is messy. Multiply both sides by 3, because you have to get rid of that first. Divide both sides by pi. Divide by 36. Last one, I believe. Find the radius this time, if the volume is this and the height is this. Okay, you start out with your formula. Step 2, you plug everything in. 75 pi equals pi. We don't know r, but we do know h. There's a couple ways to solve this. I'm going to do it the same way that we did the other time, because if you find a way that always works, that's better for most math strugglers. Times both sides by 3. Cancel. 3 times 75. 225 pi equals pi r squared 9. I'm just going to be lazy and cancel the pi's because I know divided by pi would cancel out, divide by pi would cancel out. So now we have to divide by 9. 9 divided by 9 is 1, that's why that cancels out. 225 divided by 9 is 25. And you have 1r squared on the right side. Thusly, your radius is 5. If you don't know how I got that, I square rooted my 25. Is that it? That's it for cones.